So I went outside on my deck today and I looked in the distance and I saw a FedEx truck. And then I immediately thought about 7-year-old Athena Strand. This 34-year-old man, Tanner Horner, has single handedly tainted something as wholesome as a child waiting to get a package. And I absolutely feel like this case has affected an entire country. Last night on my live, we listened to the little hour and a half police interrogation with Tanner Horner, and I learned a lot more about that man. Tanner Horner did awful things to a 7-year-old little girl, even stole her life. And he's in the sentencing phase of his trial. They're trying to determine whether he should get the DP. I absolutely feel like he should get the DP, but of course, it's not my decision. I'm not on that jury. Tanner was asked several times in this interrogation if he felt remorse, and he never truly answered it. He skirted around the question, and he does not seem remorseful to me at all. Remorseful that he got caught, not remorseful for what he did. One of the big things that aggravated me with Tanner Horner is that he kept bringing up the fact that his parents were addicts. There are plenty of us that grew up with parents that were addicts, and we're not out here harming children, okay? That's not a valid excuse. And you could tell he was trying to set the stage and hoping that he was going to get some kind of deal where he was going to get out for a month and be able to spend Christmas or the final Christmas with his 1-year-old child, the child that was 1-year-old in 2022. That was his main concern. And by setting the stage, I mean, he was talking about times where he'd hit his head on the ground. He talked about his Asperger's. He stated that he was coming off of Prozac and asked the investigators to research that for him to see what the potential side effects would be. Yeah, we know where this is going. The big thing that the investigators were trying to do is understand the why. Why did you do this? Because by that time, they had already found poor little Athena's body. Tanner goes so far to say that he doesn't really remember what happened or why it happened. And he started blaming it on this alter ego that he named Zero. He also mentioned this other alter ego that he was calling Duke and stated that his girlfriend or baby mama had alter egos as well. And this aggravates me because this is a common defense that people try to use, claiming that they may have DID. Now, I haven't been able to watch the trial, but I've been researching it as much as possible. And it's a devastating case. Like, it really gets to me what happened to this little girl when she was waiting for a Christmas present to be delivered, a Barbie doll. There was many times where Tanner Horner was calling other people psychopaths and doing anything that he could to paint himself to be a good guy. He said that he cries when squirrels die and that he feeds homeless people. He was the #1 delivery driver when he worked for Papa John's. I found pretty much everything that he said to be inauthentic, and he even laughed several times. He had no remorse for what he did to this child. And I was actually very happy to see that a pathologist that testified in the trial, their belief is that Tanner made up the alter ego. Yeah, of course. I just know that we need to get justice for Athena Strand and that Tanner Horner needs to be sentenced to the death penalty. I don't want to have to feel some type of way every time I see a FedEx driver in fear that they're going to do something to some children. And I know I'm not the only one that's feeling this kind of tension in the country, which is why I think this FedEx driver did what they did in this video. Seeing this FedEx driver do this to their truck was really heartwarming. So that's why I kind of wanted to show you guys this at the end of this video with all the devastation that has occurred with Athena Strand. Now, I pulled this from a video that was not the original creator, or else I would tag them in this. Justice for Athena Presley. Her favorite color was pink.